There are worlds within words and meaning behind movements, all of which come together on a stage when the music is playing and my hands are moving in coordination with my eyes. Classical dance is all about poise, elegance, rigid rules that dictate every single position, and yet it manages to evoke an emotional response like no other art form. An amalgamation of artistic components are the foundations from which Bharatnatyam derives its name. Bha standing for bhav or emotion, Ra standing for rag or melody, Ta standing for tal or rhythm, and Natyam, which means theatre. The word Bharatnatyam itself holds the true essence of what it stands for. The emphasis that the dance places on the connection between the dancer and the dance is found in the Abhinaya Darpana, which is a book written by the prestigious Guru Nandakeshwara. It teaches us a shloka. Yato hasta tato drishti tato man tato bhav tato ras, which literally translates to where the hands go, the eyes follow, where the eyes go, the mind follows, where the mind is, feeling evolves, and where there is feeling, the experience flows. Indicating the importance of a dancer pouring their mind, body, and soul into a performance for it to be truly impactful. If I, as a dancer, expect to weave meaning through my performance, I will not simply hold up a mudra, but will trace the path of my hands with my eyes, my mind, and my heart. Then, and only then, will the audience understand what I am trying to convey. I was only 7 years old when I began to learn Bharatnatyam. And it's definitely not easy for gurus to instill the kind of discipline that a professional dancer has in someone that young. Our guru really struggled to control us with our haphazard movements and hyperactive bodies that would simply refuse to conform to the graceful movements required by Adavus. And yet, she persevered. I think it's in part because of the love that she had for the art form, the same love for the dance that lives within all of us today. She would always say that Bharatnatyam is not just a dance, it's a living, breathing reminder of who you are. And that struck a chord with me. Could dance be a marker of your identity? As a young girl entering the world of dance for the first time, it seemed highly melodramatic and gave unnecessary importance to an activity that I had just begun to pursue as a hobby. Dance was just about losing myself in the moment, having an outlet to express my emotions with nothing else to think about and only the beats to keep up with. During COVID was when I realized the true impact of dance on me as a person. Whilst others struggled to keep up with the sports that they would play or to be a part of the communities that they used to belong to, Bharatnatyam became something that belonged to me and only me in those days of isolation. We continued to practice over Zoom calls and Google Meet classes, which frustrated my guru to no end. But we ended up forging a special bond over those 2 years. Having a common source of joy to bond over in those awfully trying times gave me a pocket in my life to look forward to. And strangely enough, it catapulted me further into the world of Bharatnatyam, since now my guru would spend long hours on call teaching us the nooks and crannies of classical dance lore. She would explain to us the history of the dance, the meaning behind it, and the usefulness of its application, even in our lives today. In those days, Bharatnatyam became more than just a dance to me. It became a guide to becoming a better person, teaching devotion, respect, intelligence, discipline, and even freedom. In fact, a cardinal rule of Bharatnatyam is that you never begin to dance without doing a namaskar. In a namaskar, you begin by opening yourself to the dance, bowing down to Mother Earth, asking for her forgiveness for stomping on her and expressing your gratitude for her strength, paying respects to God, acknowledging your guru, and finally, thanking the support of your friends, family, and the audience. In a way, the namaskar, which is a starting point for every dancer, represents what the dance as a whole stands for. As one of the only ancient Indian art forms that remained untouched and preserved for centuries, sheltered from the brutality of invasion after invasion, Bharatnatyam is also representative of the true values of ancient Bharat. It finds its roots in the Sanatan Dharma and considers Nataraj, who is a form of Lord Shiva, to be the god of dance. The Tandav, which is the infamous dance of destruction that he danced, is a Bharatnatyam piece that is said to be choreographed by Lord Shiva himself. It serves as a cornerstone of faith and empowerment to those who feel like they are losing control in their lives. It serves as a reminder that you will persevere through everything, just like the dance did through time. Bharatnatyam transcends the boundaries of entertainment and ventures into spirituality and science, even. In recent years, with rapidly advancing technology and science, many medicinal properties of dancing Bharatnatyam have begun to come to light, which have both physical and psychological impacts on one. Humans for centuries have used dance as a way to express themselves, letting out joy and frustration both in pure physical energy. But Bharatnatyam takes it a step further. The Hansasya Mudra, for example, which is formed by joining the tips of your forefingers, leaving the rest of the three fingers to fan out behind them, has been found to improve your blood circulation and have a soothing effect on the mind. Interestingly enough, in dance, it is traditionally used in a circular motion in front of your chest, showing a metaphor for blood flow as a free emotion flow in dancers or characters. You may remember seeing it when someone meditates, showing the interdisciplinary approach that Bharatnatyam takes to dance. Along with this, the famous lateral neck movement of Bharatnatyam is now being adopted by doctors as a physiotherapy technique used to loosen the neck muscles and even steady one's posture. On the other hand, Bharatnatyam is also considered an effective psychotherapeutic intervention in the form of dance therapy. It emphasizes the human body as a window to the human spirit, which showcases that you can use it to help psychologically disturbed patients recover. It prompts the memorization of complex dance routines in time with music, which stimulates the brain, and also develops focus due to the immutable discipline required to master the art. In extremely recent developments, Bharatanatyam is also found to have a positive correlation with better linguistic grasps. So, it seems as if every single part of this dance has a reason for being the way it is. And even though we're just beginning to discover the true depth of its meaning, it's found to be planned and perfected almost to a scientific precision. So, Bharatanatyam again is not just an outlet for emotions or a form of entertainment. It works to tell a story. From the mudras that are used to the costumes that are worn, everything that is part of a performance is used to tell a story. Bharatanatyam is known as a nritya, which is a combination of a natya, which is drama, and nritya, which is pure dance. Where by combining these with the 9 components of expression, which is the navras, which include raudra or anger, veera or bravery, karuna or sorrow, hasya or happiness, shanta, which is peace, bhayanaka, which is fear, bhibhatsa, which is disgust, and adbhut, which is wonder, dancers tell a story. And when we learn these rasas, we learn them through stories. The anger of Durga Ma as she vanquished the demon Mahishasura, or the bravery of Arjuna riding into battle, even the peace and quiet of a sage meditating, or the wonder of a child seeing a flower bloom for the first time. Everything that is part of Bharatanatyam is important. A combination of these mudras create a sahitya, which is a story that uses many of these rasas together. In Varnam, which is a dance composition, the dancer tells a story from Radharani's perspective, who is Lord Krishna's beloved in Hindu literature. She calls for her friend to bring her beloved to her, even as she extols his many virtues. As a dancer, to be a vessel for stories that have held their own through thousands of years instills a sense of responsibility to treat these narratives with utmost esteem. This profound respect only increases when you learn that Bharatanatyam as a dance form is considered over 2000 years old, with Bharata Muni's Natya Shastra being dated back to 200 BC, indicating that even millennia ago, humans used dance as a way to communicate with each other. The modern revival of the dance form was brought on by Rukmini Devi, who is a pioneer in the field of classical dance and popularizing it in New Age India. She started a campaign to study and disseminate the teachings of Bharatanatyam to the Indian population. But this campaign didn't simply educate people, but also worked to reverse the damaging stereotypes of female practitioners of the dance who were known as devdasis or temple servants, who were bound to their temples and forced to dance in them, and sometimes even had to renounce marriage to anyone but their gods. She set the precedent for women from all backgrounds to attempt to practice Bharatnatyam, which had unfortunately grown to become associated with a widely maligned lower class community. She reinforced that the primary effort of Bharatanatyam was to create a sense of togetherness between the dancer and the audience, to unite groups of people through music and movement. Dance is not an individual practice. It's a practice that is not divided by class, race, upbringing, or even background. It is a practice that builds communities and strengthens ties within them. The absolute connection between the dancer and their partner on a stage when they are moving in time with one another cannot be expressed through words. And the audience is also an active part of the storytelling process. The cumulative beauty of Bharatnatyam lies in its ability to bring people together through its poignant storytelling, music, and elements of theater that enchant the audience. So the next time you want to see a story unfold and be a part of that story, a fantastical, enchanting story that uses elements of theater, music, and enthralling choreography, consider attending a classical dance performance instead of switching on the TV. Thank you.